How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another End of Oak Street video. So the final trailer has officially released for the movie. And because we're getting closer to the release of the film as a whole, I believe it's like August 14th is when we'll be seeing it, I figured we should talk a little bit more about it. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at this trailer. I've already seen it, so this is not a reaction video. Rather, it's just us going by each little section and talking about some of the things that show up type video. So if that's not your thing, click away immediately. But yeah, let's get into it. So first of all,
Flintstones.
she's singing the Flintstones theme. This is a reference to the fact that there's people with dinosaurs, just like the Flintstones. In all seriousness, though, I really like the fact that they have her singing the Flintstones. I think that's just a fun little detail. Here is a more complete look of the very weird theropods that nobody has been able to properly identify. I still think it kind of looks like a huge coelophysis, mainly by the fact that it has an extremely long neck. The whole body is extremely elongated. That head shape is very consistent with like a coelophysis head shape, and the fact that it's really triangular towards the front of the snout. It looks a lot like a coelophysis, or at least some type of coelophysid, or something that's even closely related to a coelophysis. It might not be, of course. You know, as we've seen with some of the creature designs, they've been kind of all over the place. This could be like some type of dromaeosaur that is just extremely stylized. It could even be like an unilagid, like a ostroraptor, and also just be incredibly stylized. It could be something like that. It's hard to say. I don't know if we're even going to get an answer in the movie. Like, I don't think there's any dinosaur experts in the movie, so I don't think there's going to be anyone who could go, oh, that's a coelophysis. You know, I don't think that's going to happen. So I think we'll probably find out from like the folks who made the movie outside of the movie, like maybe in behind the scenes specials or something like that. But for now, all we can really do is speculate. I'm still leaning towards coelophysis, though. That's just what makes the most sense to me in my head. It is interesting, though. It is very interesting. And we actually see them running over here. And oddly enough, when they're running like that, they kind of remind me of terror birds. Kind of. But there's like a whole group of them, and it seems like they're gonna play that, like they're gonna be they're probably gonna fill the, you know, the raptor role of the movie. Where it's like, you know, in dinosaur movies, there's often like small, medium, and large dinosaurs that you have to worry about. I think they're gonna be filling the role of the relatively small ones, even though, like I said, they're absolutely huge, as you can see right here. Look at the size of that guy. That is just a big guy. Like, that is my head's kind of blocking it. Whoops. That is quite large. That is quite a significant size. Yes, August 14th is when we'll be seeing it. I actually might be out of town when this movie comes out, so unfortunately I think my full review of the film is going to be a bit delayed. That's unfortunate, but it's fine. You can just see the Allosaurus in the background just chasing everybody. We do know that Stegosaurus is in the film. I do believe that this is Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus is in the film. I believe we've seen in like international trailers, I think we've seen some type of ankylosaur that is incredibly spiky. We've also seen Spinosaurus, of course. We know the Spinosaurus is going to be in the film. And more recently, we found out that there is going to be a sauropod in the film. Now, I already made a short talking about the sauropod. It showed up in an international either trailer or TV spot. But the sauropod is actually feathered. Not just feathered, it's like, it looks like it's completely woolly. Here's a picture of it on screen. That is such an interesting design choice for a sauropod. Obviously, it's not the first time we've seen feathered sauropods on screen. The Jurassic World Rebirth titanosaurs are actually feathered. You don't see the feathers until you're like really close to the animal. In fact, the feathers that we see on the titanosaurs in Rebirth are way more likely than this woolly sauropod that you see right here. So yeah, the designs are really interesting in this film. Obviously, that much feather coverage on a sauropod is not too likely, so it's just, but it certainly makes it stand out from pretty much any other sauropod that you've probably ever seen on screen. You know, like I said, there's that Stegosaurus, and as we know, there's going to be like a bunch of, you know, it's not just the Jurassic. It would have been cool if it was just the Jurassic, but that's not the case here. And see, that looks like a baby coelophysis to me. It just does. That looks like how you would expect a baby Coelophysis to look. Because I assume this is a baby of one of the medium-sized, long-necked Coelophysis-like creatures that we've seen running around. Look at it break its wrists. Why would it want to do that? That's so unfortunate. There's this pterosaur right here. It kind of looks like a Tropiognathus. Yeah, see, it looks like it looks like a Tropiognathus right there because it's got the sharp teeth. It's got the dog. I think the dog actually has it, uh, but I think it might be a Tropiognathus or something that's similar to it. It's got the sharp teeth and it has like this bump on its beak, which is something that the animal did have. It also does seem to be decently large. And look at that, it's covered in pycnofibers, aka feathers. So that's a nice detail right there. Although it doesn't really look like it's plantigrade. It looks like it can use its feet to pick things up, which is not really something the pterosaurs would have been capable of doing. But yeah, that's probably our best look at the pterosaurs thus far. And I wonder if that's like, is that the same pterosaur that we saw flying here? I can't tell. I genuinely can't tell. Maybe. This one seems a little bit smaller, so we might be seeing like a couple different types of pterosaurs in this film. Yeah, you can really see the bump on the beak right there. That is, the dog has it. Like, the dog is the aggressor in this situation. That's good. Maybe the dog will survive. I'm gonna say the dog's gonna survive. Let's hope that the dog survives. That's best case scenario. And obviously, there's the feathered Allosaurus that is incredibly spiky. And again, I'm really not against the way that this Allosaurus looks, especially in this shot right here. Like, the skull shape looks pretty decent. See, have you ever thought that you would see Ewan McGregor fighting an Allosaurus with an axe? I didn't think I'd ever see something like that. This is certainly a really wild year for dinosaur media. You gotta love it, you know? And then, okay, Ewan McGregor's like, hey, are you okay? And yeah, you can really see the feathers right here on the Allosaurus. These people back here, look at those people. But then the Allosaurus wakes up and Odo grabs him right on the leg. Look at that. Breaking its wrist in the process. It's so determined to get Obi-Wan Kenobi that it's breaking its wrists. See, it actually has him too. Like, it really has him, and it's like throwing him around. Hopefully, Ewan McGregor survives this. I'm sure they wouldn't show us his death scene, you know, in the trailer. That would be kind of, you know, no one likes to be spoiled like that in your trailers. But yeah, no, there's really nothing too new about this trailer. Like, nothing that we haven't seen already. There's way more dinosaurs in this film than I previously thought. Again, like I mentioned earlier, we got the Spinosaurus confirmed. We got an Ankylosaur confirmed. There's even like some type of Pseudotsuchian that we saw in a TV spot. There's just a few creatures. Like, there's a lot more creatures that are going to be in this than I thought. And I'm excited for that. You know, I'm really excited to see how they are portrayed on screen. I want to see how this movie differentiates itself from other dinosaur movies and how it stands out. I'm really excited to see that. Be sure to let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And until next time, have an awesome day.